Why are we talking about Lightning Rock? I'm going to taste the Reserve 2019. It's because there's a petition going right now, the bill C-262, and this bill it's to promote the free trade in Canada. To the free trade, we are sick and tired that our wineries cannot ship wines from a province to another. It sounds pretty freaking ridiculous that in one country we can ship our wine from a province to another, right? And it's been like that for
a long
decades.
time. And so yeah, a bit of context if you're not aware. In Canada, this is why when you go to a liquor store, you don't see much selection of local wines. Ontario has gotten much better at it, especially in recent months, in the recent years, at promoting their own Niagara and Peck and Lens wineries. But if you go to like even BC, there's very little selection of the independent local wineries. You do see like a lot more of the bigger, there's 3 or 4 big conglomerates of wineries. There's Peller Estates, which is publicly traded. They own a bunch of wineries. There's Arterra, owned by the Ontario Teachers Fund, which is
and Mark Anthony Group.
Mark Anthony Group. Those are the big 3, really. And so you'll see a lot of their more mass-produced wines on the shelves, and then a lot of their more sort of boutique wines. But you don't get to see a lot of the small producers that we feature in Carl's Wine Club. And there's hundreds of them.
Hundreds and hundreds. And that's where the passion lies. That's where the gems are. That's where the depth of our wine industry is. And it's crazy that you from BC here, where we have, I don't know, 500 wineries, 350 wineries, they can't ship their wines to Alberta without being taxed $3 a bottle by the AGLC, or can ship their wine to Saskatchewan or Manitoba. And it's an absolute nonsense. The point being is it's easier to get wine from France or Italy than it is from a different province here in Canada.
But what matters also is for our farmers, our producers of wine. And let's face it, it's fancy farming. Like, this is a tough gig. It's not like some kind of glamorous thing. These are farmers. And for a farmer, it is easier to export their wines to Japan or Europe or even the United States than it is to send a wine from BC to Alberta, or
which is the next province, the province next door.
Yeah.
So it's not about the retail market. It's not about putting your wine in the retail store on a different province. It's about the direct to consumer, shipping your wines directly to the consumer's door. That's where it's impossible. And it's not always interesting for a producer to go the route of the retail store, because most of the other provinces, the bigger seller, the Ontario and Quebec, are run by a monopoly. The markups are absolutely insane. I remember talking with Effie Perrell, owner of a small little winery here at Tenderhope here in Kelowna. He sent his Chardonnay they tasted the wine. The SEQ tasted the wine. They loved it. It's a $28 wine at the tasting room. They wanted to sell that wine for $54.
So that they could make their cut.
Because they can make their cut.
I get it. They're a retailer. They need to make a markup. But at the same time, like, there's got to be some kind of trade-off for, it seems absurd that they're not just doubling it, they're tripling it sometimes.
And that makes the wine becoming completely out of their own category, right? Like a wine who sells for $28 is not a wine that the producer want to sell for $50 on the shelf. So that doesn't make any sense. No sense at all.
Yeah.
Now we're not even talking about the Alberta issue, which our next province next door, who have decided to, okay, yes, we will allow the direct to consumer, but you have to be registered and you have to pay a tax of $3 a bottle. I mean, is it really free trade in the country? No, it's not. Why? It is interesting for a small producer to ship direct to consumer. The reason is it's because they don't sell the wine at the wholesale price. At a full retail, that's where they can make decent money. That's why the direct to consumer is a very interesting market for small producer, isn't it?
It is.
So now Dan Alba, which is the MLA
Here in our area,
in
the
Kelowna,
Okanagan, in the
Kelowna
Okanagan.
South, Kelowna and Summerland, Dan Alba, with Ron Kubik, which is the owner of Lightning Rock, I've decided to
winery.
start. Yep, here you go. Thank you, Ron. This Pinot Noir is absolutely freaking awesome.
It's their 2019 reserve.
That's the
Pinot
reserve
Noir.
Pinot. That's the cream of the crop. This is from the Block C of Canyon View Vineyard. Beautiful vineyard right up here up the hill. We'll talk about the wine a little after, but yeah. So there's a petition going on right now. So if you're listening to that, first, click the bell, register, sign up for Carl's Wine Club.
Yeah, we're here every day
Every
until
single
we
day.
hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube because we want to spread the Canadian wine news and joy and fun. So hit subscribe if you're just joining us on YouTube.
And get on the petition. Just sign the darn petition. So
just Google up Canadian wine petition. It should come right up. And we signed it earlier today. We just saw it yesterday, I think. So it was started by that MLA, Dan Albus, and Ron Kubek, owner of Lightning Rock Winery, who's been really vocal and I think
very vocal,
very brave to do that because somebody needs to say these things. Somebody needs to go to bat for this industry. And it's been like 3 decades that they've been trying to get free trade for wine for consumers. Ultimately, for me, it's about consumer choice. Like I live in Canada. I want to be able to taste wines from Nova Scotia. I want to be able to pick up a wine from Ontario, even if I'm in BC. And it's ridiculous that I have 50 wines from Chile and Argentina and the United States, but I have 0 from Ontario.
So that's the thing. We have the consumer pulse. We have members in every single province, right? For Ontario wine lovers, they get so excited to hear about BC wines because they don't have the same style of wine that BC produce. You know, yes, once in a couple vintages, they have something a little bit more similar, but consistently, they don't get the big and bold wine that we make here in the South Okanagan. So Ontario people get really excited to get our big, bold wines. BC people gets really excited to get the amazing Pinot Noir and Chardonnays and Riesling from Ontario. When you're a wine lover, and Gamay, how about the sparkling wines of Nova Scotia?
So good.
Which are absolutely world class. Now, Nova Scotia is one of the closest market in all of the 10 provinces, another monopoly, and they're restricting all of the Atlantic provinces. Quebec and Ontario are completely restrictive. So this is time for that to change. I don't know if you guys remember the fun story that Sandra Oldfield
so this was
shared with us
of Tinward Creek Winery in the 90s down in the South Okanagan. And she came on our show when we were first starting Carl's Wine Club. She told us that she actually shipped a rifle. She bought and she shipped a rifle, and it was legal and easier than buying and shipping a wine across the country. And she still has that rifle on her wall just to show that, like, hey, we're Canada and we make it easier to buy and ship a rifle than we make it to buy and ship a bottle of wine. It's kind of ridiculous.
Isn't it? So that's where we are. It's 2026. It's time to modernize our economy because it would be great for our farmers, for a small wine producer to be able to ship their wines at retail price, the direct to consumer from their winery directly to the door. You know, when they get a letter from the SAQ and saying, if you ship wine to Quebec again, we'll make sure that your product never hit the shelf. Same thing with Alberta. If you keep shipping wines to your members, you'll be banned from our retail markets. It's ridiculous. Okay. So that's the rant for today. The
if-
petition is out there.
If
Please
you're
sign
in
it.
Canada, if you're in Canada and you want to see free trade for Canadian wine, like wine made here, then please go Google up petition, interprovincial trade, Canadian wine, something
Dan
like
Alba.
that. It should come right up. Dan
Yeah.
Alba's. Yeah, it should come right up, and would love if you sign that petition. So yesterday we made a pot roast. It was really good, and
was.
it paired so well with the Carmenere from Black Hills on day 2.
Oh, the Carmenere was
Day 2
absolutely
of it open.
stunning yesterday on 24 hours after being open.
It needed some time to wake up and breathe.
Just to review, 3 days ago, we opened a Carmenere 2018 from Black Hills during the show. It was tight. It was close. It was not really expressive. Carmenere, it's not necessarily my favorite type of grape. I was like, meh. 2018, I was kind of disappointed because I was expecting a lot from it. Didn't happen. 24 hours later, that bad boy, holy smokes, that wine gained, to my opinion, 3 points in 24 hours just by breathing and opening up.
It did open up a lot.
A lot on the nose, on the palate. The texture just got bolder, creamier. It was an absolute delight. And
Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, look at this, you guys.
woohoo! So that's the leftover because
Leftover pot roast.
one of our kids is a hockey boy and he loves meat, and he destroyed the pot roast last night. But there's a little bit left.
Yeah.
Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to give
So we opened the Redstone Syrah
2021 vintage,
from Niagara last night.
and a little bit like the Carmenere the day before.
It was a little sleepy.
It was a
Had
little sleepy.
phase.
So I promised you guys, when you listen, and ourselves, to give that little boy another chance to
Right.
see if it might open up just like the Carmenere did. Because sometimes these are great surprises. So,
Absolutely.
can you pass me a cup?
There
A
you
glass?
go. There you go. Glass time.
Glass time. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Definitely more expressive on the nose. That's a good start. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
And sorry.
Lovely. Oh yeah, some meat. Just with our fingers like that. Savage.
That pot roast day 2, just get another point.
Yeah. Just like a great wine. I mean, a pot roast on day 2. The vegetables, everything, flavors are great.
Mm-hmm. Good.
All right. This is the Syrah.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
The fruit is at a better place.
Mm.
The fruit expressed itself a little bit better. Still really on red fruit.
I need a fork.
Why?
The food is good.
She's way too civilized. Look at that. Potato. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, that's kind of why with the fork.
Ho,
You know?
ho, ho, ho.
Anyway. Yeah. Carl's not able to describe the wine anymore from that potato.
Hot potato.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So this is still really, I would say the wine has improved from yesterday, definitely. Which yesterday was, to my opinion, like an 89 points. Now the fruit is getting more on the fruity side instead of the just astringent acid. Riper fruit coming out, a little bit more of a approachability, I would say. Now with the meat also makes a big difference. So I would say I might bump that up to a 90 points.
Yeah.
This is we might have cut that one maybe in a sleeper phase than we thought. But yeah, no, still really good. I like that.
We're big believers in Canadian Syrah. The wineries don't love making Syrah because it is like a problem child. Like it is like, you know, as soon as it gets cold,
Oh, that's
which
good,
it does in Canada,
Better.
Syrah is one of the first to go and have problems with the cold. But when they can do it, and the winemakers that can pull it off well year in, year out, it's just spectacular.
It's just spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm excited because we have some of the ice cellar Syrah is coming our way. I thought it was supposed to be here today, but probably tomorrow. But in the next couple of days, you guys, we're going to share a ice cellar Syrah from the Wismar Park Vineyard
in Niagara.
But I also have a Painted Rock Syrah from right across the lake here. Painted Rock, there's some Syrah and Cabernet Syrah coming our way as well. So we're going to be talking about Syrah a little bit more in the next couple of days, because I think Mira's right. It's one of the spectacular grape that we have here in Canada, and when it's made right, it's absolutely spectacular. So this one is opening up. I mean, it's much better than yesterday. Definitely. The fruit are a little sweeter, which makes a big impact. So
there is see, I'm not the wine person here. I just drink the wine. I just like the wine. I know which one I like. This is the wine guy who spent like 25 years tasting wines, and the last 6 almost tasting thousands of Canadian wines a year. So for me, what's interesting, Carl, tell me what this is. I get a little bit of almost like milk chocolate or something.
Yeah.
Is that normal for a Syrah?
I would say usually I get that from Merlot, more on the dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. But one thing that stands out to me, it's the 2021. It's only 12.5%. So Syrah 12.5%. I believe that we might missing a part of the spectrum of that boldness of the Syrah, and it's more on red, crunchy fruit that I usually found in a blue fruits, darker fruits, smoke meat, smokiness. So 2021 vintage from the Redstone, so 21 was a tricky vintage because the rain started during harvest, especially when Pinot Noir and Chardonnay were out. That means Syrah was still hanging. That's the thing. So and the rain kept going. So some of the wine had to harvest the Syrah sometimes a little earlier than what they were hoping for. So that's
where you get the slightly lower alcohol.
Slower alcohol, not as ripe fruit. So the phenolic ripeness may not have gone through the entire way. I mean, Redstone did a great job here. 21. I would be curious vintage. So that would be the impact of the vintage here when they had to harvest maybe a little earlier than they were to prevent the rot to attack the grapes, because it was raining. So that might be the thing.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, guys, for a little Canadian wine chat.
Because I'm gonna eat that.
We're gonna have some pot roast. We're gonna finish these 8 or so wines that are open here. I would love, if you're on or you're watching this later, tell us what questions you have about Canadian wine, because we're going to be on every day at 4:00 Pacific indefinitely until we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we might as well, answer your questions. So if you've always wondered something about Canadian wine, ask. There's no bad questions. So just drop that question in the comments,
and we'll answer it live the next day.
We'll be on tomorrow at 4 Pacific.
Perfect.
So hit subscribe on YouTube. Guys, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, head over to YouTube and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Then we can do even more fun things on YouTube once we hit that mark. So
side by side, Canadian versus international.
That's always a fun thing to do.
Right? That's what I would like to start doing.
That's always fun. Because you know what? The Canadian wines are world class. You do, like every wine region, you need to know where to look. You need to know what producers to watch out for.
Which
you
grape
need to know
variety?
which regions and which vineyards
vintage?
are kind of the Grand Crus.
Mhm.
That's the hard job we have, is to help you with that. But it's there. It's there in our own backyard. The most diverse and exciting wine region, I think, on the planet.
Hey,
So,
speaking about Grand Cru, speaking about exciting wine region, we're heading to Prince Edward County
yes.
in Ontario the first weekend of May. And I believe that Churchside Vineyard and South Clos Vineyard at Clausen Chase are definitely Premier Cru material.
Yes.
Definitely Premier Cru material. No doubt about that.
Mark his words, and you're going to be wishing in 10 years that you had stocked up while they were still like pretty affordable.
Absolutely. And by the way, the 2023 of the South Clos and the Churchside on the Chardonnay Pinot Noir are incredible. 95 plus points on the Pinot Noir. South Clos. So anyway, amazing wines.
A super rare score, if you want to know.
Yeah.
A couple thousand wines a year, maybe like 3,
2,
maybe
3.
2.
Yeah.
Get
But
that
one,
score,
like,
so-
there was a year that the top score was 95.
That's
So,
right. That's right. All
there
right.
you go. All right, guys.
Well, Canadian wine lovers,
Cars Wine Club members.
we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit subscribe on YouTube, guys. Cheers.